happy day, oh happy day, oh happy day, when Grinch he lost, when USC fired Grinch, oh happy day. Oh my gosh, I believe that every single USC fan in the world can sit up here and collectively say that we are so happy that Alex Grinch is no longer our defensive coordinator. Don't get me wrong, USC is not a perfect team, but oh my God, if our defense has not been absolute dog water this year. Oh, my bad, I misspoke. Every single year that he's been at USC. I mean, like, seriously, like, how hard was it? You tag along from Oklahoma, riding Lincoln Riley's coattail, and Lincoln Riley came in year one and established his offense and got things going. You did absolutely nothing in the 3 years you were there. You actually got worse. If you guys did not know, on Monday, November 6th, it was dropped that the USC Trojans are going to be parting ways with 3-year defensive coordinator Alex Grinch. This is coming off of a heartbreaking 52-42 loss over the 5th ranked Washington Huskies, where we gave up 316 yards rushing. This is the third game in a row where USC's defense has given up more than 200 yards rushing, and we've only played 10 games. In 7 of those games, we've given up more than 200 yards rushing. On top of that, USC's defense is averaging 11.4 missed tackles a game, giving up more than 4 big plays of 20 yards or more on defense per game, and more than 6 plays of 10 yards or more per game. All of those numbers are up from last year. Now, I'm not gonna sit up here and say that Alex Grinch is the sole reason, but he is one of the biggest reasons why USC in this Lincoln Riley era has not been able to take any meaningful step forward. Yeah, you know, Caleb Williams, he goes out there and wins a Heisman, puts up great numbers. USC's offense is looking phenomenal, but it doesn't help if we can average 35 points a game when we're giving up 38. It's been unbearable to watch because all of the same defensive woes that USC had in our previous coaching regime, they almost got multiplied under Alex Grinch. The Alex Grinch era of USC defense has been nothing but an utter failure, and I am so happy that Alex Grinch is no longer a part of the USC coaching staff. Now, this is a hard decision for Lincoln Riley to make because Coach Grinch was one of the first people to say, hey, I'm going over to USC with you, which stop saying much. Like, obviously, like, where would you rather be, Oklahoma or California? Like, come on, you're not saying much doing that, but this is one of Coach Riley's closest coaching friends and just it sounds like personal friends as well. This was a tough decision for him to make, but overall, I believe that he made the right decision. But here are some of the things that he had to say about making this decision. Coach Riley said, if we were in a situation where we didn't have a whole lot left to play for in terms of a conference championship and having an opportunity there, might feel a little bit different. But we are still very laser focused on these opportunities ahead, and then whatever comes next after that, we'll deal with that at an appropriate time. When Coach Riley was asked what led to the decision to let go of Coach Grinch, here's what he had to say. Yeah, watched the game Saturday night, slept on it, and thought about it a lot throughout the night. Didn't sleep much. Thought about it a little bit more Sunday morning and just felt like it was the best interest of our program. For both this year, because we still have a lot to play for, we still have a really cool opportunity in front of us, and for the future that we needed to make the change. We simply weren't making the progress I think that we all expected that we would make. It's tough because these decisions, when you make them, there's no guarantees in this game. We're 2 football snaps away from being undefeated in this conference right now. You never know exactly how these things are gonna go. Alex is a great coach, a great person. He's proven that a lot throughout his career, and I'm disappointed that it didn't work out here. I know he is as well, but we've got to move on. We're gonna move on. Excited for Coach Sean Nua and Coach Brian Odom, their opportunity. Excited for Taylor Mays. Excited for our team. We got a big time challenge, but a big time opportunity right in front of us here with these last 2 games. We win these 2, we could put ourselves in a pretty cool position. So that's our focus, my focus going forward. When asked about the differences between the expectations of the defense this year and the realities, here's what Coach Riley had to say. It's a tough question. The bottom line is it didn't get to where he, I, or our players, any of us expected, and we all take ownership in that. Listen, that's the nature of the beast here. And I certainly am not, and our players, rest of our staff, certainly not laying all the blame at Alex, because the reality is I have a role in that. Now, real quick, That's just coach speak for, hey, I'm not gonna try and throw him completely underneath the bus, but come on. You're the defensive coordinator. If USC's offense was not playing to the level that it's supposed to be playing at, and you can clearly see that it's because of players being put in wrong positions, you know, just unpreparedness, overall poor play calling. No one will be looking at anybody else but the offensive coordinator. So in this situation where USC's defense has habitually been out of position, poor play calling, USC's year in and year out had one of the worst rush defenses, not in the Pac-12, in all of college football. You have to blame one person and one person only when you've given them that much time to instill their defensive culture. That is Alex Grinch. But getting back into it, the other defensive assistants have a role in that. Our players have a role in that. Our other staff members. Like, everybody has a role in it. And so, if it goes well, that's great. And if it doesn't go up to the expectations, then changes are going to be made. Adjustments are gonna be made, and that's just a part of the business. So overall, this was just pretty much your classic PC coach gets fired, where it's like, hey, you know, it wasn't just him, it was the whole team, yada, 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 XYZ. No. At the end of the day, Coach Grinch did not help USC's defense in the slightest. There was no improvement made. There is not a single metric or a single stat that you could show me, or even just anything on the field that has shown any improvement as a USC fan that the defense has gotten any better. I mean, let's just go ahead and take a look at it. Back in 2021, Alex Grinch's first year as the defensive coordinator for USC, averaging 241 yards passing against and 168 yards per game given up on that USC defense, giving up more than 400 yards per game back in 2021. But nah, you know, that was just his first year getting everything installed. 2022 is gonna be better, right? No. Back in 2022, giving up 264 yards of passing per game and 159 rushing yards per game, giving up 423 yards per game to opposing offenses. And then 2023, this being the worst year of them all, giving up 249 and a half passing yards per game and 186 and a half rushing yards a game, giving up a total of 436 yards per game. Every single year that Coach Grinch has been the defensive coordinator, USC has given up more than 150 rushing yards a game and more than 400 total yards per game. That is, I know that the Pac-12 has a bunch of really high-powered offenses, but that is unacceptable. When you go and you look back at some of these games, USC's given up 200 yards rushing to teams that are not historically known as being running teams. I know for Coach Riley, it might have been a tough decision, but for USC fans all over the world, this was the easiest decision of all. Coach Grinch has been the reason why USC has not even been able to stay in the top 10 of the college football rankings, because we give up more yards. We pretty much give up more total yards and points almost than any other team in the Pac-12, if not the most. Like, our defensive stats are so poor that it doesn't matter. Like, we put up 42 points against Washington and lost by 10. Like, what more can USC do? If Caleb Williams has even one game where he's not playing at a Heisman level, USC's whole team crumbles, because our defense, we have playmakers, you know, our offense is going out there and doing what we need to do, but our defense is consistently out of position, done absolutely nothing to try and stop the run, and then giving up big play after missed tackle. And it's just, at some point, you can look to the players, you can look to the circumstances, but at the end of the day, you got to look at the defensive coordinator. You're the one who at the end of the day, it's going to fall on your shoulders. Alex Grinch, hey, as a person, I have nothing against you, but as a defensive coordinator for the USC Trojans, you simply did not get it done. But I am excited because, you know, this is going to be Lincoln Riley's first major coordinator hire. We're going to see, okay, he pretty much inherited that Oklahoma staff from Bob Stoops. Obviously, he brought in some of his guys. He brought up some of his guys from other schools, but this is going to be the first major coordinator pickup this upcoming offseason that Lincoln Riley has made at USC. I hope that whatever USC has to do to get a quality defensive coordinator, just look at what Oregon did with Dan Lanning. You go out there, you pay a little bit more to get a really qualified guy, and you get him in there, and Oregon is one of the best defenses in the Pac-12. USC needs to do something similar. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get the caliber of a Dan Lanning because he's going to be commanding head coaching positions, but go out there and go pull a qualified defensive coordinator who knows how to play against Pac-12 offenses, or Big Ten offenses. We're getting ready to go into the Big Ten, which is going to be a completely different beast. Go and get one of Big Ten's best defensive coordinators. Bring them over to USC. Bring over some of that grit, some of that focus. Whatever needs to be installed, USC cannot give up this many rushing yards. Like it's mind-boggling to me how consistently we give up 200 yards rushing. 70% of our games we've given up 200 yards rushing. That's hard to do in Madden. Like, at the end of the day, I'm happy that Coach Grinch is not there anymore. I hope that he's able to find another job, because at the end of the day, this is how this man was paying to keep food on his family's plate. So I'm sad about that. I hope that he gets another coaching job somewhere and is able to take care of his family and do all that stuff. I'm just excited to see, first off, what our coordinators are going to be able to do stepping into that role, seeing if we could potentially hire within, but more than likely we're going to have to go outside and bring in a new guy. I just hope that, I mean, at this point, where else can we go but up? Like, seriously, what are we going to give average 300 yards rushing against the game? Like, come on. Like, the only place that we can go is up here. We have the talent. We've been recruiting extremely well, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We have the pieces there. In this year's recruiting class, this year's freshman class, this 2024 class, and the 2025 class, we have those pieces that we need. Just about going out there and developing them. I want to hear from all y'all. Comment your thoughts down below. I really do need to hear, because I wanted to sit back, take it all in, really just see. I wanted to hear Coach Riley's thoughts. I wanted to wait for him to have his first true press conference so I can, relay that to y'all, because I know this was a tough decision for him, but at the end of the day, it needed to be done. This was absolutely abysmal. 300 yards rushing? Come on. Stop. That's crazy. Crazy. But he's not there anymore. I'm super happy. I'm excited to see how USC season ends off. And hopefully this upcoming season, maybe we can find a way to just stay in the top 10. We'll see. Want to hear from all y'all. Comment your thoughts down below. Leave this video a like and hit that subscribe button. I love and appreciate all y'all. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.